Welcome back, team, on the journey to transform culture. I'm Steve, and I'll be your guide. Well, today we're on the beach, right? Sometimes you got to get out of the office, you got to get out of the car, you got to get off the mountain, you got to get off the planes, you got to disembark the mode of travel, and sometimes you just got to come sit on the beach, right? Of some sort, whether it's at the lake or at the ocean. You know, we're mostly water. We're made up of mostly water. Hopefully you can hear me, and if you can, I'll try to filter what I can out of this. But we're made up of mostly water. And the same way that the moon moves on the tides and on the ocean to move it and slosh it around, the earth and gravity and everything else is playing upon us as well. And what ties us into all of that are our senses. So today, or at least for this moment, I'm going to talk a little bit about senses, right? Not everybody has all their senses, due to health issues, if they were born, deprived of a sense. But for those senses we have to be able to use those not only to survive, but also to thrive and to look out for one another. And sometimes it's the sense of feeling can go into your gut. Now, I understand it that the heart was actually referred to, the gut was actually referred to as the heart in ancient times. So today we understand the term, I get a gut feeling, right? Wind is pretty good. I'm just going to fight through the wind because, you know what, it's just too nice out to care. But the gut feeling, that's your heart. That was, in times of old, your heart telling you something's not right, something's up, something's not exactly, good to go. And it doesn't always mean fight or flight, we got to run from danger or anything, but it also doesn't mean it isn't that, right? I suppose it depends. You got to read it. We all have to read our environment. Right now, it would seem that there's very little to fight or to fly from or to flee from, right? And that's, in trying to create thriving lives, we're trying to create an environment of safety where we don't have to fight or flee, right? If you just really boil it down, all fear kind of comes from that innate, internal, ancient aspect of us interpreting safety, interpreting, do I need to flee or do I need to fight? But when that isn't on the table, right, when it's calm, when you're in these peaceful environments, whether it's in your it could be in your backyard, your little haven, it could be in your living room watching TV, whatever, but in your little environments where you're safe and you feel good, and you feel comfortable. And there's quiet from having to be fearful of anything. And I hope that a lot of people can enjoy that. I know not everybody does, which is a big motivator for me to help in that capacity on a broad scale. But when you're in those environments, you're in between. And what do I mean by in between? It's time to reflect and appreciate what you have. It's a time to reflect and maybe look out and say, okay, how can I make an impact to further this for other people? How can I make a difference in other people's lives? How can I make a difference in my family's life, my kids' life, my parents' life, my whatever? And it isn't to put a great burden on yourself to do this. It's just a gentle meditation to kind of say, you know what? I appreciate having survived the gauntlet that life is to this level. How can I help others to not only get through the gauntlet, because that's true too, but maybe to arrive at a place where they're comfortable, arrive at a place where they're at least content, and they have a bit of harmony. Not perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect life. There isn't. There just isn't. There's always going to be laundry. Well, that'll be my first thing. If I had to snap, the laundry wouldn't be an issue. But there's always going to be laundry. There's always going to be dishes. There's always going to be a thing. And no matter where you are, what aspect of life, whether you're just starting out or whether you're well retired, the grass needs to get mowed, this needs to get done, that needs to be taken care of, the bills need to be paid, the grass needs to be watered. Life has got plenty for you to do. We know this. But it's important that we use our senses, and that when we appreciate using all of our senses. This is another reason why we enjoy the different flavors of food. It's one way that we celebrate life is to enjoy food, right? But if I go walk into that ocean water right now, I'm gonna feel my feet and my legs are gonna feel the cold sensation of that water on my feet. And it's affirming things. So our senses help us to affirm things, right? Good and bad. But we need to slow it down and find those opportunities to affirm in good ways in these moments in between fight or flight, to affirm and to appreciate the opportunity, the gift of life, to have the opportunity, the chance to run this race, walk this trail, climb this mountain, right? Trek across that desert, to travel, to make a difference for a few or for many, to defend others' lives, to protect love, right? To transform ourselves as we go, like sharpening a stick. And as you know, it would come back to food. Sharpening a stick that you would put marshmallows on. So I just wanted to check in and say, hey, use all of your senses to affirm and appreciate everything that you have, everybody that you have, all the blessings, all the good fortune, and use these things for good. Use these things to uplift others' lives, to motivate, to inspire, to help out, to give a helping hand wherever and however you can. Because those times in between fight or flight, we have to essentially fight for our own contentment and harmony. But make it a loving fight, right? Not a contentious, divisive one. So, all right, folks. Hit like, share, and subscribe. If you're here to protect love, we'll check in with you another time. Take care.